Hello, everybody. My name is Greg Eagles. I'm a pilot. I'm a real world A320 captain, bringing my love for aviation and flight simulation together for all you wonderful people out there. How's everyone doing this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are in the world? We have Dummy Thick joining us this afternoon. Says, let's go turn and burn, baby. Yes, sir, that is correct. This is going to be a double-header turn and burn Tuesday. So we have the afternoon stream. Come back tonight for the evening stream where we'll be going to the other side of Manhattan, Newark, New Jersey, doing some United ops here. Right now we're going to be taking the Flying Banana on down to New York's LaGuardia Airport there. Absolutely beautiful all yellow plane. Very easy to spot flying in the sky. Absolutely love the livery for that sole reason right there. But without further ado, let's get right to it. Well, before I get started, sir, we had this one subscription last night that that didn't get played here. So first, I forgot to start the Fly Live Studio. Let's go ahead and get that going, shall we? There you go. And let's actually turn on Fly Live. Do not know why it didn't turn on, but there we go. Also wanted to give a shout out to Jonathan there for subscribing right just at the end of the stream last night, but that is quite all right. Thank you, Jonathan. Welcome to the Eagle's Nest. All right, now that everything is up and going, let's go ahead and head into the flight deck and get everything set up, ready to go for this turn and burn. Max Reese says, howdy, how are you doing this after morning for you out there in Houston, Texas? Let's see. Hopefully the computer build is going quite okay for you out there. If you have any questions about what you need to do, either myself or Dummy Thick, I think Dummy Thick built his own PC as well. So you can drop a question down there in chat. One of us may be able to help you out there. Why is 120 people boarded for no reason? Okay. Load aircraft. There we go. We'll do that so we can get everything going all at once, working with the PC. There we go. Absolutely beautiful. Hopefully you're having a fun time. Remember, it's supposed to be fun. Fun time building your computer there. We're going to go ahead and get our IRs on, get the recorder ground control on, and test our CVR. Sounds good. Everything else on that side of the panel looks good. We'll test engine fire 1. Sounds good. The APU. And engine fire 2. Hopefully you get that PC up and going for tonight's stream, and you can go ahead and tag along this evening. The hydraulic and fuel panel looks good. Electric panel is all set. Air conditioning panel is checked. I'm going to go ahead and get the APU started here in just a second. And our ice is all extinguished. Per window heat is an auto capper. Pressurization is an auto with the ditching hatch, ditching switch. I always call it the hatch. That's a carryover for the original days. Ditching switch is closed, guarded, and extinguished. There we go. We'll go ahead and get the master switch on. All of our external lights look good. We are on an even day, so we'll turn to the number 2 bulbs on our system here. We'll go ahead and start the APU, arm the emergency exit lights. The observer's ACP PA should be out in about the 3 o'clock position. RMP is on VHF3 in data. That looks good. The rest of the first officer's overhead panel looks good there. We'll come on down to the main glare shield, left to right. All of our switches or push buttons should be extinguished. Flight director's on. The current altimeter is 3003. Let me bring up the weather here. Oh, they only have a TAF. Okay. Or a METAR, sorry. Bring up the METAR. Looking at 3004 now. So we'll go ahead and set that once, twice, and thrice. It sounds like the APU is pulled up. Go ahead and get our clock started for the bleed air. Excellent. On the captain's EFIS, yeah, we're looking for flight directors on. The current QNH constraints arc 10 nautical miles, and we don't need the VOR ADF. That looks good. Out of here, or in the center FCU here, we are looking for digits or numbers displayed, heading vertical speed, and all the push buttons extinguished. Same thing on a first officer's EFIS. We're looking for VOR ADFs off, 10 nautical miles R constraints, QNH 3004 with the flight directors on. All of his push buttons are extinguished. Coming over to the main instrument panel. We can adjust the brightness however we see fit. I might adjust it up a little bit since we are flying in the middle of the day. There we go. So PFD on the left, ND is on the right. Our ISIS is aligned. I'm going to turn that brightness up a little bit as well. Is that as bright as it goes? Oh, well. Upper and lower ECAM displays are in the correct orientation. Our brake fan is off. Landing gear is showing down. Any skin nozzle steering is on. The correct date and time. We are flying real time right now. This evening, I might switch it back to morning time. The gear is down with no red arrow on the first officer side. ND's on the left. PFD's on the right. We can adjust its brightness however we see fit. I'm going to leave that alone because we don't really need that unless we're wrong side simulations there. Let's see. Coming on down to the center pedestal. We are A320-200 with the V2527A5 engines. The database is correct. We'll go ahead to the init page and request that. The RMP looks, I'll get rid of you. The RMP looks good for now. I got the CTAF and the active, the Unicom and the standby ACP looks good as well. Lighting is set, radar is off, predictive wind shear is off. Coming up to the center pedestal here, let's do a quick little OSO check. So oil, hydraulics, status no class 2 messages, and our oxygen is at 1800 psi. That looks good. We'll go ahead and press and hold the recall button. Normal, clear, looks good. Excellent. Coming on down the center of the center pedestal. Trim should be at 0. Those levers are at idle. Engine master's off. Engine mode is norm. The speed brakes are disarmed with the flaps up. We should be showing digits here. And the rudder trim window and the gravity gear extension is stowed. First officer's EFIS or FMS, we got it on the load sheet right now. We'll assume both are cross-talking to each other, have the same information. RMP looks good. ACP is set. Lights are set. And we got an auto ATC of 7325. There we go. Lastly, let's go ahead and check our alternate braking system. Alrighty, so I'm gonna actually do it twice. So you can see here the indicator goes down and up without delay. We'll go ahead and set the brakes, and I'll put that all the way down, but you'll see when they close the cargo doors, it will actually recharge the system, so not too worried about that. Excellent. Let's go ahead. I'll drag you on over here, and let's start programming the FMGC, shall we? We're going to be Spirit Wings NKS 3318. Sweet deal. We got Providence, Guardia, no alternate. Cost index is going to be 34. Cruising level is going to be 20,000 feet. That looks good. So we'll put in 200. That's the only thing with, I don't like this flight plan format because it does not show what your ISO deviations are on here. In order to get it, your temperature deviation is plus, it says plus 17. Is it really that? Temperature deviation. Okay. I don't know. That seems kind of high. Plus 17. Well, that actually might be corrected. I think it is 30-something degrees outside. So we're looking at positive 10. I actually got to put a plus sign in there. There we go. That is nice and warm. The weather, let's see, 36 degrees outside right now. All is set there. That is very warm. We're approaching that point where we need to leave the flaps at 1 when we taxi in. Let's see. Our zero fuel weight is going to be, we'll pull it from here. Zero fuel weight of 128.4 with a zero fuel weight CG of 32.2. There we go. Our block fuel is going to be a total. We have some tanker fuel in there, 13.8. We'll zero out the route reserve. They're departing off of runway 5, or at least that's the one with the most favorable winds there. No SIDS out of Providence. Their rival is going to be the RNAV X-Ray 31. Harper for arrival. We'll go ahead and insert that. We got Putnam, Nelly, then direct to Valerie. That's the transition on the Harper for arrival there. And what I'll probably do is here, I'll just, I think what I'm going to do is put in this transition in, so that we have some sort of guidance. We're just not randomly flying around. So, where is Vars? Oh, yeah, no, we don't want that. We want Greg. We'll do Greg. We'll insert that. And then whenever we are ready, we can go direct to Greg. And then do that whole transition there. That looks good. Going back to the initialization page, when we'll uplink the winds. We have a nav accuracy upgrade. GPS is primary. Excellent. That looks good. Oh, it did not save that view. Okay. Well, here we go. I gotta save 2 views real quick. Yeah, this one. And this one. Something like that. There we go. Let me see if those work. Excellent. Let's see. We have our load sheet. I kind of already calculated it out, so we'll go ahead and send that down to the... Let's resync the live weather. Yep, okay. We won't take credit for headwinds. Oop. Oh, no. Providence 05 dry, 144.0. We don't take credit for headwinds. There we go. Now we will calculate that out, send that to the McDo. 138, 140, 143, flex 2. Not the right one. We got 138, 140, 143, flex of 67. So flaps 2 departure. Go over toward descent phase. 290 into descent. Pretty much is what the box is calculating. Anyway, we'll go ahead and copy our active since we're not worried about engine failure procedures. Let's go back up to the overhead here. Get the APU bleed on. External power can come off. Let's go back to our load out here, or the ground ops here. We can disconnect the GPU, PCA, and call that. Alrighty. Let's see. There's no ATC online. We'll go ahead and dial up 20,000 feet for cruising altitude. The IRs are aligned. Recorded ground control is on the catcher briefing and checklist. Our EFIS is set. Let's go ahead and get that terrain on ND. That looks good. Our parking brake is on and it has been checked. ACP, RMP are all set. Data, position. We'll bring this back real quick to our page here, we're looking for 4143.4, 4143.5, and 071 25.7, 071 26.1. That looks good. Get rid of you real quick. The Indy looks good. BFD, we have V1, V2, climate nav or blue flight directors 1 and 2. We can go ahead and check our oxygen real quick. That looks good, and we can go ahead and ask if our Ghost FO is ready for a briefing. Excellent. What are our threats? Well, it's a short flight, and that's pretty much the biggest threat out of here. Short flight, no ATC. How about that? Yeah, I can agree with those threats. We'll mitigate the short flight by slowing the aircraft down if we need to, giving us a little bit more time for our briefings and to make sure we're comfortable with the current state of the aircraft. We will taxi out to runway 5. It's going to be super easy. We'll just take Tango and a Mike 1 all the way down to the N. When we do get there, plan on doing a flaps 2 flex. Standard reject considerations. Do you have any questions about what we need to reject for? All right. Excellent. In the event of an engine failure after V1, we'll continue straight ahead to about 4,000 feet, clean up the aircraft with the ECAM, and plan on making a return back to runway 5. If we need more runway, we'll scoot up the road to Boston and land at one of their super long runways there. Otherwise, we'll continue out, get radar vectors to our first fix. 20,000 feet is our top altitude. CTAF is in the active. Unicom is in the standby. Auto ATC of 7325. Any questions? Nope. Excellent. Just got the ding, which means I think they are all done boarding. So we'll go ahead and get our fuel pumps on. Seatbelt sign can come on. I'll go ahead and get the beacon light on as well while I'm up here. Let's check our fuel is on board, balanced with the pumps on. Our hydraulics all look good. You can see they're still closing the cargo door there, and that's recharged the accumulator. Landing, our cabin pressurization is in landing elevation auto with the correct altitude there, and we do have enough oil for our flight. That all looks good there. Let's go ahead and run the B4 start checklist. Recorder ground control is on. Flight forms and maintenance log is on board. Reviewed aircraft is 648. That's actually 3648. Fuel quantity. Let's see. Our fuel quantity 7.8 required, 13.8 on board. Takeoff performance, we see 138, 140, 143 with a flex 67. Oxygen checked. Seatbelt sign is on. ECAM checked. Park brake is on and checked. The MCDU set. Altimeter is currently 3004. Departure briefings reviewed. The before start checklist is complete. There we go. Let's see. Are you gonna continue with the pushback here? Fuel truck not available. Catering not available. Deboarding. Boarding complete. Okay, we'll continue our pushback, please. Nose left. Hold on. To 4 doors armed. There we go. Excellent. This display is slightly inaccurate. There should be a line here symbolizing these are overwing exits, but that's okay. I will ignore that. All right. What's your landing gate? It's going to be gate 27. Like I said last night, the mat, for some reason, the gates didn't work at the mat when I was setting up everything. So I said, well, it's not going to be realistic, but we'll park at the main terminal instead of at the mat and call that a day. Let's see. We got 128.5, 128.5 with a CG of 32.2. So we'll go ahead and put that in there. Excellent. And I'll bring that back to that page. Let's go ahead and listen to an engine start, shall we? All right, I did choose the correct direction. I was a little afraid there for a second. Oh no. Okay, that'll block her. And just in case you were wondering, for tonight, Max Racing, when we go down to Newark, we'll be parking at gate 96 down in Newark. And I have to say, the MK Studios scenery of Newark is absolutely beautiful. I'm glad GSX has done all these updates. But the character models keep breaking, it seems like, every time they do some updates. Very interesting. Alright, there's our blue system coming online. Love the PTU bark. Supposedly in the Neo, they did some extra soundproofing around the PTU, so it's not nearly as audible in the cabin. I don't know how much I agree with that or how much I believe that, but you know, it is what it is. Well, there goes our person with her face stuck to the ground. I don't know how you guys are doing an update every 2 seconds, but can't fix that. There we go. We got our guy doing a little salute there. We'll tell him we got our salute. Both engines are online. I'll bring the volume back down to a more reasonable level there. That should be good. Excellent. All right. Flaps 2. After start checklist, engine anti-ice we definitely do not need. Our status has been checked. The rudder trim is at 0. The after start checklist is complete. Excellent. We'll go ahead and begin our taxi out here. Providence traffic, Spirit Wings 3318. We'll be taxiing via Tango Mike 1 to runway 5, Providence traffic. There we go. If you're just now tuning in, welcome to Turn and Tuesday. It is FSExpo time, and we are doing the little FSExpo shuttle on down to New York's LaGuardia and back. Stay tuned this evening. We'll be going down to the other side of Manhattan, going all the way down to Newark, New Jersey, doing some United Airlines ops. It's absolutely crazy to think that just because I've changed engine types here, the aircraft just wants to take off on us. I barely have moved the throttles any, and we've already accelerated to 20 knots here. Absolutely crazy. And that just tells me, I know Phoenix has the external engine model, but that tells me that the engine model is biased towards the IAEs, I guess, more so than the CFMs. Maybe they just need a slight a slight tweak with the external engine model there. Let's go ahead and do a flight control check, shall we? Pull up, pull down, neutral, pull left, pull right, neutral rudders, pull left, pull right, neutral. Okay, you can come back off now. Let's go auto brakes max. We've checked our takeoff data here. We're looking for down about 0.4 units. Our predictive wind shear can come on, and we can do a test real quick. And let's seat the flight attendants. Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff. Slow on down for our turn. Excellent. We'll go ahead and get the TCAS on TARA so we can do the entire before takeoff checklist here. Let's see. Flaps, we have 2 planned and 2 indicated. Takeoff data and speeds are all checked. Our weight is at 142.2. We're looking at 142.0. That looks good. Stab trim 30.5% and 30.4%. Flight controls checked. ECAM memo takeoff no blue. We're to the line, below the line, runway and FMS. We have runway. Actually, I want you on performance. There we go. Runway 05 in the box on my screen and out the window. That is checked. Minimum takeoff fuel is 7.5 required, 13.6 on board. Flight attendants notified. Engine mode norm, and our TCAS is TARA. The before takeoff checklist is complete there. It is yet again an absolute beautiful, as hot as it is, 36 degrees, I think it was showing outside, 35, 36 degrees. So we're rapidly approaching 97-ish degrees outside. I'm terrible at math, so the math isn't mathin'. I'm sorry. Yeah, 97 degrees. Wow. Okay. Well, they even simulated the EMAS system here at the end of the runway. Alrighty. I will pull up and we will hold short here. I'll do a quick look out the window before I actually take the runway here. Excellent. So, known as on final, it appears. Known as on the runway. So, let's go ahead and get the party started, shall we? Providence traffic, Spirit Wings 3318 is departing runway 5. Will be departing the pattern to the east, or sorry, west. Providence traffic. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and release that parking brake. Let the flight attendants know we are taking the runway. All of our lights can come on and the sound can come up. There we go. good enough lineup for me. Let's go 1.05 on the Eepers. Close enough. Here we go. Flux. Thrust set. $80 checked. V1, rotate. Positive brake, gear up. Do not know why the tail is wigwagging so much. I literally feet on the floor and the tail is just wigwagging for some reason. Alrighty. Let's go to the back for the thrust reduction. It still must be pretty gusty up here. That's probably why the aircraft's wigwagging there. Providence traffic, Spirit winds 3318, 2100. Will be departing the pattern to the west. Providence traffic. Alrighty. Let's get the autopilot on there. Flaps 1. Let's go ahead and go direct to Putnam. We'll insert that. Almost got it. Almost got the view of downtown. It's right in front of us, right below our nose. Is downtown. There it is. Beautiful. Flaps up after takeoff checklist. Alrighty, our after takeoff checklist. The gear is up. No lights. Our flaps are up. And we have diff P. After takeoff checklist is complete. Bring the sound back down to a more reasonable volume there. Excellent. And now that we are out of the traffic pattern area, we'll go ahead and switch over to Unicom. I will see. Let's prepare LaGuardia's unit CTAF. LaGuardia CTAF is 18.7, so we'll go ahead and put that in there. 18.7. Excellent. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. There it is, downtown Providence, which is where the convention will be being held for the FSExpo, somewhere down here. I'm gonna try. I'm not too sure if we're gonna have many overnights up here, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to get a Providence overnight this weekend. We will see. Again, I don't have control over what trips are sitting in open time, but if there is one that overnights in Providence, I'm gonna try to get it so I can at least try to get to the Expo floor and see what that's all about. So there we go. Nice, beautiful short flight down to LaGuardia this afternoon. I'm pretty sure if we looked hard enough, we'd be able to see Boston somewhere in the distance, because Providence is not too far away from Boston. There we go. It looks like we're accelerating, so it must be through 10,000 feet. We'll go ahead and get our lights off. Yeah, that looks like a good climb rate. I'll accept that. I will accept that. While I'm at it, I'll go ahead and get some in-flight tunes going for us there. Check live traffic on LaGuardia. You may see a special call sign. Alright, let's see. There we go. That should be a little bit better with the sim volume. Let's see. I need to go up a little bit. Oh, there's ground control on. Oh, well, that's JFK. Never mind. Oh, man. All right. Ooh. All right. It looks like we have a 3340 to Providence and a 3. Are you done building your PC there, Max Racing? I take it the PC build has gone quite well then. Amazing, awesome. LaGuardia to Providence. It looks like you'll be with us on the way back. Amazing. We'll have great fun, Max Racing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just don't judge the landing into LaGuardia. Because from the looks of it, it looks like you're parked right near the end, right near gate 27 is where I'm going to be at. Let me quadruple check real quick. Yeah, gate 27. So, there we go. Yeah, landing 3-1. I'm gonna fly right on by you. Probably take one of those high-speed exits to come back around and park right there. So it should be a pretty short taxi in. Now, don't let flying on flight sim take away from your studies for your private pilot exam now. You'll find you'll be just flying around, and sure enough, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and you've just been having fun flying all over. Yes, sir. It can be a time machine. I mean, well, that's why I do like to call airplanes little time machines. People would say, oh, like, why would you ever pay, like, right? So, like, think about the Northeast Corridor. We're transition. Let's go standard. Set once, set twice, and set thrice. So with the Northeast Corridor here, it's like, why would you ever pay to take a flight up to Providence when you can just go and hop on the train and take the train from New York all the way up to Providence, and it would be significantly cheaper for you? And to which I say, it really does depend on how much your time's worth. right? Airplanes are little miniature time machines. No, they don't actually take you backwards in time, but they can save you some time in your traveling and your commuting. So, you know, it really does depend on how much do you think your time is worth. Let's crank the speed on up to 345 knots, shall we? We'll leave the seatbelt sign on for now. We got set manage speed. That should be fine. I'll bring you down to, let's go 80 nautical miles. Yeah, that should be fine right there. Let's bring out our arrival charts here. A herp 4 arrival. The only restriction is to expect Basie at 8,000. I'm probably gonna do Crayley at 4,000 as well, because that's gonna set us up to be at Greg at 4,240 knots as well. So what I'll do is we'll go Basie, that's gonna be at 8,000. Was Boston Center advised cross Basie at maintain 8,000. Stewart altimeter 3011. No separation services are provided. That sounds perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. Alrighty, so auto ATC is giving us that. So we got Basie in there. 8,000. I'm gonna put Crayley at 4,000 in there. So that we have some sort of positive guidance down to 4,000. We'll go ahead and insert that. We don't need anything here. I might hard tune the LaGuardia VOR. In fact, I'm gonna do that since we will be doing the RNAV X-ray approach. Let's go ahead and put LGA as we actually fly all over LaGuardia just to land. That's quite all right. Runway 31. And eventually, you know what? I'll just do it now and we'll put in 0.3. Not required since it is a visual approach, but we'll go ahead and do it. Excellent. Performance approach page here. We'll go ahead and go over and let's check the weather again. Real world ATIS landing runway 31. 340 at 7. The temperature is 34 degrees, a little bit cooler than which is interesting. It's a little bit cooler than Providence, and then 3008 is the meter. I'll set that here once, set twice, and we can go ahead and set it thrice. Wow, it's gusty up here at 20,000 feet. And it's -9 out. It's ISA plus 16. Wow. Okay. That's insane. Let's see. And our baromens, we'll throw that in there. Will be... Where are you? There you are. 1160. Full flaps, medium auto brakes. We can come over here and we'll dismiss that. We'll do arrival performance. LaGuardia 3-1 dry. Apply METAR. No credit for headwinds. 32 degrees 3008. Our landing weight. Let's do the heaviest weight, 139.4. Auto brakes will be medium. Then you can see there's almost zero difference between idle and max. which is why I always like to calculate that. So 5,755 feet with our 15% margin there, and the runway 7,002 feet long, so we have enough runway to land. We're illegal there. Let's go ahead and set 4,000, and then we'll manage up our speed and altitude. 4,000, put you over into the hundreds. We'll begin managing our speed, and once that comes back just a little bit off the barber pole there, I'll begin our descent down as well. Excellent. That all looks good. Let's see. The last part I forgot to do is my double D. Here we go. So nav aids deselect. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. We can return and go back to our data. GPS monitor. We got 6 GPSs on both. 6 satellites on both GPS receivers, so that's good as well. Excellent. We can go ahead now and ask our Ghost FO if he's ready for an arrival briefing. Yep. What's your threats? Well, it's an RNAV visual approach into LaGuardia with that steep left-hand turn over Flushing Bay, which can be a little tricky to navigate. Yeah, I'll let the aircraft do most of the flying, and then as we're in that turn, I'll click off the autopilot and I'll bring it on in. So that's how we'll mitigate the threat, is by pretty much letting the aircraft do all the flying. And it's a short runway, so we'll try to put it down within the first 1,200, 1,300 feet of runway. If not, or essentially within the touchdown zone. If not, mandatory go around. If it was a wet runway, or conditions were less than good braking action, then that 1,000. Touching down on that first 1,000 feet. Let me see if this will have it. I don't. Okay. Where are you at, New York? There you are. You can load in. I know you can. There we go. Oh, it doesn't have the runway markings. Yeah. So as long as you touch down within the touchdown zone, which is here, right, you'll be fine. Your 1,000 footers are here. Now, when your braking action is less than good, then yeah, you want to be. This is the latest you should be touching down, when your braking action is less than good. Otherwise, you do have the entire touchdown zone to land, because your expected stopping action is going to be really good. And that's what that 15% overrun is for as well. It takes into account that. Let's go transition 3008. We'll come in on the, was it the Harp arrival? Here we have the expect BC at 8,000, and I put in Crayley there at 4,000. That's just in anticipation of doing the transition all the way around for the RNAV GPS there. Let's plan on doing the visual. We'll back it up with the RNAV GPS to runway 31. That's going to be chart 12-10, dated 14 March 25. I really don't have to brief the whole thing since it is a visual approach. Beautiful day out here in the New York area. We'll use full flaps, medium auto brakes if we need to go miss. Plan on doing a soft go around with the tower. Should be assigned heading and altitude. Unless they tell us to do the publish miss, which is that's a tricky one. So we have a do not exceed 165 until runway 31. So if we go miss approach prior to the runway, we gotta stay at 165 knots until we reach the runway, and then at 210 knots to Yeoman. Climbing right turn 3000 direct to Ring, and a 043 track to Shinzo, then a 055 track to J-Dog, and then a 0107 track to Yeoman. So that's what all this funkiness is here. And then we'll hold over Yeoman. So 165 knots to the runway, 210 knots to the hold. That's the biggest threat there. When we do land, plan on making a... I'm gonna go ahead and start slowing you up now, since you like to slow down to 250 knots at 10,000 feet for some reason. We'll plan a left-hand turnoff on, I'll try Tango, but maybe Sierra or Romeo. That's the hot spot there. Romeo, Sierra, Papa, Golf, Bravo. So all of those taxiways there. And then we'll probably take Bravo and Juliet into the ramp. And we're parking like right there is where we should be parking. So there we go. And Max Racing should be there. With waiting with judgmental eyes at how terrible that landing was. Alrighty. I do have the speed brakes out. I know I slowed us up a little early there. That is quite alright. Let's go ahead and do a descent checklist. Altimeters is 3008. The auto brake is a medium. Perf approach page is set. Arrival briefing is reviewed. Herp 4 visual approach backed up with RNAV X-ray status is checked. The descent checklist is complete. We can go ahead and prepare our flight attendants for landing. Flight attendants, prepare for landing. Excellent. We'll go ahead and get all of our lights back on. And I'll stow the speed brakes there. Beautiful. We'll pause our in-flight music there as we prepare for our arrival. I'll get the replay going a little later, and the only reason I want to do it a little later is because we'll be on the downwind for quite some time, or we'll be trying to do. We'll be in the pattern for quite some time, making our way all the way around the airport to do the thing. So I'll probably start at, what do we say, around Greg. That way I don't have too long of a replay reel to try to clip through. Max Racing says it's an Airbus A320, so the flare shouldn't be too brutal. Yeah, the 320, I think they've pretty much fine-tuned how that the flare works in the 320 versus the 319, and it's not nearly as floaty. Even though it's a sharklet, it doesn't float as much as a 321 floats. So it's right there in between. It really is right there in between a 319 and 320. So, or sorry, a 319 and 321. Truly is a middle of the road airplane. Are you gonna cross Basie at 8,000? I guess not. We're 9 for 8. There we go. And then we have Creeley at 4,000. In fact, I'm gonna level it off here at, let's call it 7,000 feet. We'll go ahead and level off here at 7,000 feet. Because Creeley is quite the distance from Greg. And once we get to Harmony, or Harp, what I'll probably do is we'll go Harp, and instead of going Harp Creeley, we'll just go Harp Greg. How's that sound? So flight plan GGREG after Harp. So we want GGREG, and we'll put that in there. That looks good. We'll insert that. All right. So now we have much better guidance. Should have much better guidance vertically. Let's see. Go ahead and wait for the Alt Star here to go away. Let's go ahead and select 4,000, and then we can manage that up again. Excellent. can't quite see New York City yet, but it's out there somewhere, I do believe. Should make for a fantastic replay if I were to replay the whole thing from where I start the recording. Because I think it will take us right over Manhattan as we come back around for the RNAV. There we go. A little chart here. This evening, I'm expecting we will probably have full ATC, as usually New York Center is online. It seems like almost every evening. Now, how often or consistent that is, I have no clue. But from the times I've seen VetSim radar, it seems like they're online more times than they aren't. So hopefully we'll be able to get some ATC on the way in today. So we are slowly making our way down to 4,000 feet inbound to Greg. Greg is going to be the transition. This is a very, very interesting way they make the transition here, because you come in and then you zip back westbound to come back down and around again. So clearly this is how, if we really had to do this approach, probably how they would actually vector us is you would come down and they'd vector you. This would be all vectors. Now in real life, it's probably so busy there that they're messing with you. They're pulling you off. They're turning you. They're vectoring you around. They're telling you go direct to Nicole. They're bringing you back off again, bring you back around, direct to Pachu. So it really does depend on how busy it is. Because if it's not busy at all, they'll just take you right on down, and then you turn your back around to patch you, and then you're clear for their approach. So we don't have any ATC online, so that is the plan. Five for four. Starting to see some of Manhattan show up in the distance here. The closer we get, the better it's gonna appear. Let's go ahead and clear out this company message, shall we? Did it too fast. Let's try that one more time. Let's see. No ADC required. That's right. When I run real time, I guess I'm never delayed. I'm very concerned about how hot the back of the airplane gets. It's 77 degrees and climbing in the back. Like, I have no clue how to get that going. Everything is full cold, so I do not know how to fix that. That state of the art. That's that state of the art. Each air molecule is flowing through the system, and each passenger has a specific heat that they give off. That's very interesting. How it can be 65 up front and then 76 in the back. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. Not unless the flight attendants are taking control and making the temperature different, which they can only do so many degrees, but it is what it is. Because the airplane is struggling to keep up with with the amount of people we have on board or struggling to keep cool. I have no clue. So this all looks kind of messy, but we're going to make this turn over Zared here, and then that's going to take us westbound, and then southwestbound, um, and then back around for the RNAV GPS. So we should be approaching LaGuardia. Well, can we see LaGuardia out here? Yeah, there it is. Right there. There's LaGuardia. Hello. Will be beautiful. I'll try to get some wing views then on the way in so we can see beautiful downtown Manhattan on our way in. I don't know if it's going to be, I think it's going to be off the left side of the left window there. So we should be pretty much dead set between LaGuardia and JFK. There's LaGuardia, and there's JFK right in front of us. There's JFK. That's how close they are. Then you got Newark, like somewhere just over here, I think is where it's going to be. So that's where Newark's going to be. Absolutely amazing. Zoom you all the way in. We are pretty much in the traffic pattern now, so I'll go ahead and tune the CTAF up. LaGuardia area traffic. Spirit Wings 3318 is over Zared on the transition to the RNAV runway 31 approach at 4,000 feet. LaGuardia traffic. There we go.
Guardia traffic, Delta 36 over past view, RNAV X-ray, runway 31 at a 4,000. LaGuardia.
Alrighty, so we got one guy over Apache 4,000 for the RNAV X-ray 31. We're making our turn over LaGuardia, essentially right over LaGuardia right now. So next is Vader at about 4,000 feet. Look at that, absolutely beautiful. There's Max Racing, right there on the ground. I see you. I see you down there. I think your scenery may be slightly different than the scenery I have. That's quite alright. Because your airplane's like facing the wrong way. That's quite alright. But that does look like an American Airlines airplane. Was it Jackie? Is that how you say this fix? Jackie? I think it's Jackie. So let's see. Apache should be at or above 3,000. So we'll descend down to 3,000. And once we turn over Varaz, we'll descend down to 3,000, begin slowing up and configuring for the RNAV there. So you got to make our way a little ways around the pattern here. I'll bring this back up. Well, no, I'll leave that off so we can see beautiful downtown Manhattan. Look at there. The New York City skyline coming into view. Absolutely beautiful. Can clearly make out the Empire State Building right there. LaGuardia traffic, Spirit Wings 3318 is over JC at 4,000 feet on the transition for the RNAV X-ray runway 31 approach. LaGuardia traffic.
Guardia traffic, Delta 36, short final runway 31. Guardia.
Oh, I guess now would be a great time to start that replay. Let's go ahead and begin that recording. This will be landing number 1. We'll go ahead and save that. The replay is replaying. Excellent. Definitely still feels like it's a gusty wind. I can hear the engine spooling up and spooling down a lot. So I may add 1 or 2 knots to ref if it's going to be gusty. It is, well, that's Providence weather. Nope, 350 at 7. It's not bad. Cole seems way down there. Or actually, yeah, sorry. So there's Newark right down there. There's the Newark airport right just underneath our right wing. And we're flying over Staten Island right now. So that is Staten Island. Not as much of a not as densely populated as the rest of the boroughs of New York are.
36, clear runway 31. We'll be taking Golf Alpha to Ram.
LaGuardia traffic, Spirit Wings 3318 is over Nicole on the transition to the RNAV X-ray runway 31 approach at 4,000 feet. LaGuardia traffic. Alrighty, let's go back up front. Well, let me do this rollout real quick. We'll do the rollout because I want to see downtown Manhattan one more time, if it's even going to load in. You can barely see it in the distance there. There it is. Beautiful. Alright, let's go back up front. Gonna bring our speed back. Didn't realize that was a speed restriction at 200 knots. That's quite alright. And then I'll pre-select 3000. Flaps 1, speed verified. Excellent. Go ahead and go down to 3000. We'll open descent that. LaGuardia traffic, Spirit Wings 3318 over Varaz, descending from 4,000 to 3,000 on the RNAV X-ray runway 31 approach. LaGuardia traffic. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. We still want to go down to 3,000. I'm going to slow up to 180 knots now. That way I can get flaps 2 down and we'll be all set and ready to go here. The temperature just keeps climbing in the back. I have no clue why the temperature is like the door open or something like that. I have no clue. Let's go to performance approach page. That is activated. That is good. And we shall go ahead and activate the approach. Flaps 2, speed verified. So we have app nav and final and blue. Shay is at 180 knots. We are at 180 knots, so that is good. Probably once we cross patch U is when we'll just start configuring, slowing and configuring. And I guess what is the lowest altitude? I can go down to 2200 at KGAR, KSAR, something like that. Okay. So we'll put in 2200. That is the final altitude. We can manage that up. We got the alt constraint. That is good. I have the airport in sight. Got final app. We can set the missed approach altitude. That is 3,000 feet. 3,000 feet is set. We can manage our speed. Gear down. Flaps 3, speed verified. And flaps full, speed verified. Beautiful. Before landing checklist, altimeters, we have 3008 passing 2500. Engine mode is norm, landing gear is down, and 3 green. ECAM memo is, we're holding for the ECAM memo. LaGuardia traffic, Spirit Wings 3318 over gate car, 2,200 on the RNAV X-ray runway 31 approach, LaGuardia traffic. Telling you what, as windy, it is surprising that it is as hot as it is, with it being as windy as it appears to be up here in the Northeast, because it is windy both in Providence and in New York, and the temperatures are like 30, 36, 37, 38 degrees. It's getting hot. And the breeze definitely isn't doing anything to cool it off there. So here comes our turn to final. EK memo, landing no blue, will continue. Do you have the runway in sight? Continuing. Like I said, we'll let the aircraft, the airplane take us most of the way around the turn. Stable, if I didn't say that before. Volumes on the sims coming up. We'll talk to you on the ground. Autopilot's off.
$500. $100. 50, 40, 10, 5.
Yo. Deployed manual braking. $80. 60. Alrighty.
And to that steer wing, you just had that beautiful greaser landing.
Thank you, thank you. That was more of a floater than a greaser, but we're here. Spirit Wings 3318 is clear of runway 31. Will be taxiing via Papa Bravo Juliet to the ramp. LaGuardia traffic. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to New York's LaGuardia. We have Max Racing there, spectating the landing that we did. Let's go ahead and go flaps up. Go ahead and get all of that done. Get our flight directors off. And lastly, we can get our lights off and APU on. I'm gonna just turn off all the lights since this is gonna be quite the short taxi in. Excellent, and let's go ahead and get GSX up and going. The parking 27, I think I said. There we go. 27. Nope. Excellent. Yeah, I had a it just didn't float on me there. It started ballooning, which is where that yo came from. That was the balloon that I could see. We started climbing back up again. So that's definitely the power of the sharklet there. It should not have climbed up because I didn't over rotate there. But you know, that's the power of the sharklet there. So it is what it is there. We have gate 27 in sight with our purple guys for some reason just hanging out, because why GSX has to keep changing textures of things for no apparent reason is beyond me. Alright, there we go. Beautiful. He says I'm off there. Max Racing slewing just a little bit there. He's figured out the slew function better than I have. Did not know how to slew at all on the sim. There we go. Parking brake is set. We'll go ahead and get the seatbelt sign off. We can go ahead and turn our engine 1 and 2 off. The APU is available, so both of those can come off at this time. We'll go back up to the overhead panel here. We can get our fuel pumps off. Turn our beacon light off there. Let them begin the deplaning process. We'll check our oil one more time. Our OSO check oil. Hydraulics status, no class 2s, and our oxygen. That is all checked there. I have to look up the salute controls. Yeah, it's I remember the salute control for FSX. I remember it very well because I used to use it all the time. It was Y to salute, and then it was pretty much the numpad to do everything. So why they have to keep, changing what the buttons do is beyond me. So let's go ahead and let's get our turn music going there. I'll turn the sim volume back down to a more reasonable volume. Excellent. And what we'll do is let's stop that replay. Excellent. Oh, okay. You were in a perfect position. You slewed yourself into the building there. There we go. That's looking good. Screenshot that. There's my mouse. See if we can get New York City in the background as well. Beautiful. All right, so I will disconnect from the network for a little bit while we get the new flight plan uplink. Can you see the people on the jet bridge? Oh yeah, you can see the people on the jet bridge. How cool. While we get deplaned here, I'll go ahead and get some stuff going on in the background. Let's change our fly live to go the opposite direction, shall we? Beautiful. LaGuardia to Providence, Spirit Wings 3318. That should be good. That is okay. That's going to show up. Sweet deal. And let's go into what is it? What's that? Sim Brief. That's the name of the app I'm looking for. And get our new flight plan. I'll be offline for a minute, but I will be right back here in a little bit. Spirit Wings 3318, we're going to be going from LaGuardia to Providence. It looks like they may have changed runways up there in Providence as well. The winds have slightly shifted around. It's just a little windy up there. Don't need an alternate, so I will nix that alternate. Oh. That's because I didn't choose the airplane. We're an IAE Sharklet. November 648. Okay. 6348. Or 3648. There we go. Ed E says, hello guys, how are you doing? Ed E, welcome on this beautiful afternoon here in New York, LaGuardia. We have Max Racing online with us. I think he's done building his PC. I figured, it would be an all day. When I build my PCs, it's like an all day affair, right? And it's I gotta take my time, make sure everything's seated correctly. Then of course, once you're all done building it, there's like the 5 reboots that inevitably need to happen because obviously something isn't seated correctly. Let's see. I like to land with 60 minutes of fuel, so we'll go ahead and add 60 minutes of fuel. And Yeah, I'm happy with that altitude. That's actually a reasonable altitude. No, it's not going to be runway 34 though. Could it be runway 34? Let's try 23. Well, I guess my thing is, how big is runway 34? It's a 6,000 foot runway. No. So instead, what we will do is it's gonna be runway. Oh no, I'm looking at runways up in Providence, either 23 or 34, and the runways are favoring 34. It's pretty much straight down 34. It could be. I mean, it could be runway 5. In fact, let's do runway 5. Yes. Yeah, it'll be runway 5 for arrival. I'm pretty sure it's going to be runway 5 for arrival, although it says it's a tailwind. 2-3. Okay, so 2-3 it is. No, it's 290. No, that's not what the weather is showing right now. The real world data says it's 340, which means runway 5 is going to be better. Yeah, runway 5 for arrival. That's what I'm thinking. Yes, for departure, 5 for arrival is what I'm thinking. Ooh. Let's see. Let me go in. That's the other thing is you gotta go in here. No, that's not what I wanted. I want departure. Let's do LGA. Oh, well. We want LaGuardia. So sometimes you gotta do this just to make sure you have enough weight. We'll do exactly what we took off out of there, and we won't take credit for headwinds, right? So there we go. And let's go ahead and calculate, see what we get. Could go all the way up to 166,000 pounds. I'm not going to go up to 166,000 pounds, but okay. So that'll be when we do our 321 out of DCA. That will definitely be something that we need to take into consideration. Is the will be the I'm trying to get a view of the passengers walking there. Well, we'll definitely have to take into consideration, can we actually take off out of there? So I'm not too worried about our departure or takeoff weight. So 320, yeah, we're going to be well below our max landing weight the way I have things planned out right now. Let me preview this briefing one more time. We're going to be landing with 9.2 in the tanks. I like that. Well, we shall go ahead. Did I get the flight number in there? NKS 3318 LaGuardia Providence. That looks good. 648. Yeah, okay, so we'll generate that flight plan. Cancel. Let's unload that import flight from SimBrief. LaGuardia Providence. We'll do the same thing over here so you can actually see what's happening. Search flights. We'll unload, import from SimBrief, LaGuardia Providence. All looks good. In reality, you'd probably get something like the LaGuardia something or another departure. I do not know why there is no SID, but my guess is LaGuardia 7 is what we'll do. And off of runway 4, we'll do the Pelham climb off of runway 4. Or do we want to do the Bronx climb? You choose. I don't really care. The Bronx climb kind of gives us a turn out to the west, and we'll probably get a better view of... Yeah, we'll do a Bronx climb. That way we can get a slight view of downtown Manhattan on our departure there. So that looks good. No arrival into Providence, so we'll just go straight into runway 5, I guess. Let's see. The weather is not correct because the current weather is showing a 340. Winds are at a 340. So technically, runway 5 is what it should be. We'll go ahead and do that. Look at our stars. There's not a lot of stars here, huh? We don't want to do the whipper arrival. Oh, okay. Well, that is what it is. I mean, we could just go out to Hampton and then Jordan for the arrival here. Neither here nor there. They got us filed how they got us filed. We'll go at 15,000 feet, it looks like. So yeah, there's that. Let me go ahead and free file this. Let's go back inside. Brakes hot. Wow, you usually don't get that in the Phoenix aircraft. So we'll go ahead and double check, make sure no personnel are around the brake fans. We'll go ahead and get the brake fans on. And let's go ahead and bring in our new flight here. Well, sorry, I meant to do this. Import next flight. Plus 22 minutes. I'm late already. Wow, I must have forgotten to do something. Alrighty, so we're late already. Let's go ahead and begin boarding, GSX, and refueling. That all sounds good. I forgot to reload some brief. You're too late for your schedule. Okay, it'll be what it is. Oh well. Excellent. So that is uplinked there. We'll go ahead and uplink our flight plan, and let's go ahead and log back in. Let's see if we still get an auto ATC NKS 3318 A320. Yep, that should be good. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I don't know. We'll see. How's LaGuardia 8 is on, but that's it. Oh, New York Center got online. Okay. So somehow New York Center is online. I'm not gonna be mad about that. So New York Center is 2532. So we'll go ahead and do that. 2532. No. Yeah, 25. Well, no. I think Providence is under Boston. I'm not too sure which one Providence is under. 25. I was trying to do it so I didn't have to do so many frequency changes, but 2532. There we go. That's in there. I have my tray table out in Chick-fil-A. Man, you made that trek all the way to Chick-fil-A, huh? Because like in real life, Chick-fil-A is like all the way over here. It's like way in here. I know it doesn't show it, but that's where the Chick-fil-A is. Alrighty, so if they even have a Chick-fil-A, I actually don't remember. I think they have a lot of local stuff. So there we go. We are boarding up there. Excellent. Got the tray table out, ready to go. Let's go ahead and go back down here. I'll get my clearance here in a second. In fact, you know what? Let's get a clearance now.
United 2158 cleared direct to Phillipsburg, Papa Sierra Bravo.
While I'm remembering, let's go ahead and get the recorder ground control on. Hello, New York Center, Spirit Wings 3318 underground in LaGuardia, looking for a clearance to Providence. Oh, there we go. He sent it. Got the cars. Thank you. Sweet though. So where to now? We are heading right back to Providence. So that's where we're headed to, Ed E. And then later tonight, we're going to be going Providence down to Newark and back. So our squawk is 2737. So let's go ahead and clear that out. 2737. That is on. That's going to be...
Good afternoon. What's your aircraft type?
270, clear via the LaGuardia 7 Pelham climb, maintain 5,000 feet. We shall do that. So we'll go ahead and maintain 5,000 feet.
Diamond 150 Romeo Golf.
And expect 15,000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is with him and advise ready for taxi. So there we go. Excellent. So our route, let me go ahead and bring up our pad of eyes. There we go. We'll slide you over here. Bring up the first officer's McDo. We should have a few company messages now. It should be an arrival message. Yep. We'll return and get our loadout or load sheet. There we go. So we're going to be NKS 3318. Pop that right in there. Our cost index is going to be 10. Cruise altitude is 15,000. Is someone meowing on frequency? The current temperature, weather, I'll get the ATIS. We have VATSIM weather, 35 degrees. Wow. Just curious, let me see what the temperature is, and that's super annoying. 37 degrees. So we'll do a flaps 1 after landing when we get to Providence. Okay. So we'll go over to the next page. Get a zero fuel weight of 125.3. So 125.3. And a zero fuel weight CG of 32.1. We're planning on 12.4 on the fuel. Looks good. Excellent. Let's go flight plan. We'll go runway 4. There's no SID since LaGuardia doesn't have a real SID. The LaGuardia 7 isn't a real SID out of here. That's very interesting that runway 4 doesn't have a SID. Are you sure about that? Well, LaGuardia 4 does not, the runway 4 does not have its own dedicated RNAV SID. It's just a LaGuardia 7. So with the Pelham climb, Pelham says a climb on a 044 heading to 500 feet, then a left turn to 040. Alrighty, and maintain 5,000 feet. So at 500 feet, we'll turn left to 040. So what I will do, we'll arm our flight directors, and then I'm going to put in 040 here. That's going to keep this in heading. We'll still get the correct SRS guidance, but then this is my reminder at 500 feet to pull heading. We'll head on out that way. Excellent. Our clearance also says our route is going to be BDR MAD Carled Victor 188 gone Providence. So that's pretty much as filed. So we have, we can verify that route. So we have BDR direct to MAD, direct to Carled, Victor 188. We'll take that the GON. And then we have the runway from there. So let's go ahead and put in our runway 5. We'll just do the ILS to runway 5. No star. Approach vias. I'll put in the full thing if I can. What is this point called? Why don't you have a point name? Let's do it off of Kinty then, I guess.
Good, 5745, contact Washington Center, 133.72. We'll be up.
133.75.
I'll put in Leife, just for reasons. Alrighty. Let's zoom out a little bit, see where that is in relation to Gond. Okay, yeah. I'll probably do direct from Gond, direct to like Kente or something like that is probably how that's gonna go. Or Kente, whatever. Performance. Let's go back over here. Nope. This is the one I wanted. Performance approach page, or the performance page here. My scheduled push time is 1:48 local. Yeah, I don't have a scheduled push time. I push when I push, I guess. Let's sync the preliminary load sheet. We'll go 139.2.
Romeo Golf, enter right, space, runway 3.
There we go. And again, we don't take credit for headwinds. Excellent. 35. All right, that is all looking good. We shall calculate that out. 128, 131, flaps 2, flex 67. We'll go ahead and send that to the McDo. Excellent. That looks amazing. Let's go over to our descent page, 290 an hour descent. Secondary flight plan, don't have to worry about engine failure procedures, so that looks good. We review the flight plan. Let's go ahead and do a quick briefing. I know you have your Chick-fil-A over there, so I'll go ahead and talk your ear off while you're having your chicken sandwich there. The biggest threat is the short runway here, short flight, and the taxi out. I think the taxi out should be straightforward. We'll probably take Alpha and Echo, or as Bravo. Bravo takes us all the way around to runway 4. Plan of flaps to flex, standard reject considerations. Any questions about what we need to reject for? Nope. Excellent. In the event of an engine failure after V1, we'll continue straight ahead to 4,000 feet. We'll clean up the aircraft, work the ECAM, and make a return to either runway 31, or if we need more runway, we have JFK just off to the east there. Otherwise, we'll continue out to 5,000 feet, the top, which is our current top altitude. I got New York Center in the active. We'll put, let's put Unicom 122.8 in the standby here. There we go. And we got a squawk at 2737. Any questions? Excellent. Let's go ahead and get our fuel pumps on. Seatbelt sign can come on. I never turned on the APU bleeder. That's going to be an issue. Probably because I didn't run the shutdown checklist. That's how I would have turned it back on. Let's see. Fuel on board, balance with the pumps on, hydraulics all look good. Pressurization is an auto with the correct landing elevation. Engine oil all looks good. Excellent. There we go. We can run a before start checklist, shall we? Recorder ground control is on. Flight forms and maintenance log is on board, reviewed. Aircraft 3648. Fuel quantity, we need 12.4 record. We have 12.3 on board. Takeoff performance, I see 128, 131 with a flex 67. Oxygen is checked. Seatbelt sign on. ECAM is checked. Park brake is on and checked. MCDU set. The altimeters is 3008. Departure briefings review. The before start checklist is complete. Let me just pull the ATIS real quick. Make sure it's 30. Nope, it's 3007 now. So we'll set that once, twice, and thrice. Excellent. And I think they're all done boarding outside. That's not the correct button for outside. Nope. Last bag's going on right now. Excellent. Go ahead and stow that tray table. And we can go ahead and pause our turn music there. Got Fly Live set up for our return flight, so that is looking quite well there as well. Well, doors are already closed, so I don't have to worry about that. There goes our little carts just driving away. Uh-oh. Oh, wrong button. Let me try that. That's the one I wanted. He didn't say call him for push, he just said call ready to taxi. So I don't have a custom spot here, Max Racing, because if I did, I would definitely push to 6 Alpha. And then they have another one back here, 6 Bravo and 6 Charlie. And you could push, we could do like multiple pushes. I wonder if we could do East Lane, West Lane. I have no clue. I do not have anything custom set up, so
Wind calm, runway 32, clear to land.
I can hear the brake fans whining, so we'll go ahead and do that. Aircraft is loaded. We can dismiss that. Get our beacon light on. Our cockpit door is closed. We have 4 doors armed. Excellent. And we have a company message just sitting in here. So we will go ahead and accept this final load sheet here. 125.3. Oh, look at there. And then 32.1. Perfect.
Delta 1839, contact Washington Center 133.72. We'll see you.
Okay, going to our center 152.72, Delta 1839, see ya.
Dog is about to go crazy here in a second. She's about to
Beaver Concord,
head on out to get a grooming done.
Airport. Kennedy 5 departure.
All right, seems like we are all set up for departure. Let me check outside. Okay, Max Racing hasn't pushed yet, so let's go ahead and continue our pushback. We want nose to the right. Brakes are released, clear to push. Starting at will. I'll try to start both of them so that we get a you can get right on out of your air here. That sounds like pure static.
Beaver Concord, you have your read back, correct? Expect runway through and left, call for taxi.
Good day, New
Let's see.
New York Center.
Let's see how long it actually takes. That is probably the quickest turn you're going to do in a 320. Let's see how long the IEs take to start, because they do need a dry motor for quite a while to cool off.
Let's say 40 and cancel 247. Liber 4467.
Okay, not bad actually. Our ground personnel with their jaw permanently stuck to the ground.
Kilo Hotel 4 Echo, runway 31 left, taxi via right on Alpha. Juliet, Zulu, cross runway 4 left.
I hope my microphone does not sound like that when I'm speaking into the microphone. It's pure static, and it could be that the VHF degradation, he might be super far away from me. I think that's one of the coolest things VATSIM has implemented, is the VHF degradation. So the further you are from a virtual antenna, the weaker the signal and the more static you're going to hear, which is actually very true. That's kind of how you know when you're flying across the country, especially at night when a lot of frequencies are consolidated to one controller. Then they'll keep you on their one frequency all the way across their sector. and you kind of know when you're getting far away from them because their audio starts breaking up a lot more, and that's when you kind of key the microphone and say, okay, hey, do you get a new frequency for us, because you're coming in very broken, and they'll say, oh yeah, contact the next center. So that's kind of
2000, expect flight level 360, 10 minutes after departure.
Did you call on Unicom? No. Should we be calling on Unicom? I figured since Center is online. I figured since Center is online, he kind of controlled that. He just said call ready to taxi. So, there we go. Am I blocking you in there? Here. Let's see. All right. The guy gave us a thing. We'll go ahead and let him acknowledge that. Waving of the flag there. Flaps 2.
47, read back correct. Back runway 20, call for taxi. And the New Haven altimeter 3007.
Alrighty then. After start checklist, engine activates. We do not need status is checked. The rudder trim is at 0. The after start checklist is complete.
Endeavor 1031, New York Center, good afternoon. Fly heading 0, turn left, heading 270, descend and maintain 4000. Vector ILS runway 9 right approach. ILS Zulu runway 9 right approach.
27 left 270, 9 right approach for Endeavor 1031.
Endeavor 1031 affirmative, turn left heading 270, descend and maintain 4000.
Left headed 270, descend and maintain 4000 for Endeavor 1031.
The center, Spirit Wings 3318 on the ground, Guardia with information. Foxtrot ready to taxi here at spot 6.
Spirit Wings 3318, New York Center, runway 4, taxi via left on Bravo.
Runway 4 via Bravo, Spirit Wings 3318. Excellent. Max Racing starting his push as well. Beautiful.
Delta 1068 is ready for taxi.
Let me actually head up front so I can get a zig and then zag to get on Bravo here. Let me bring up our chart so we can all see. Follow along with me. So we'll zig, then we'll zag. We'll be on Bravo. And we'll follow Bravo all the way around to runway 4.
Zulu, cross runway 4 left.
Alpha, Juliet, Zulu, and then cross 4 left for Delta 1068. Center Delta 2443 request taxi.
Alrighty, flight control checks. Yep. Pull up.
Center, follow the company Airbus.
Pull down. Neutral. Pull left. Pull right. Neutral. Rudders. Pull left. Pull right. Neutral. Go ahead and get our auto brakes up to max. Our closeout and takeoff data has been checked. Let's see. We're going to be down 0.4%. Let me try. I'm going to try to do this while also turning. Predictive wind shear is on. There we go. Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff. Excellent. Did all of that while looking straight down because the taxi is pretty short here.
New York Center, American 3340 over at LaGuardia ground, spot 6 Alpha, taxi with Foxtrot.
American 3340, New York Center, runway 4, taxi via left on Bravo.
Excellent. Max Racing taxiing out right behind us. Here we go. Let's run a before takeoff checklist. Flaps are at 2 planned and 2 indicated. Takeoff data and speeds are all checked. Our weight is 137.4. That's not the button. We were planning on 137.2. Stab trim 30.5%. We were planning on 30.5%. Flight controls are checked. ACAM memo is takeoff no blue. We are to the line.
November Sierra, cross runway 27 right.
below the line runway and FMS. I have runway 4 in the box on the screen and out the window. That is checked. Minimum takeoff fuel.
Delta 2152, my apologies. Runway 9 or left.
11.8 required. We have 12.1 on board. Flight attendants notified. Engine mode is norm. TCAS TARA before takeoff checklist is complete.
November Kilo Whiskey
2 Kilo Hotel 4 Echo, wind 01011, runway 3 and left, clear for takeoff.
3 and left, clear for takeoff.
Number 4437, leaving my airspace. Boston Center's closed, radar service terminated, frequency change approval, see up.
1.8 on the control of Lindbergh 4437, boy.
New York Center, good day, Tom 8180, passing 14,500. Sorry, I took a bit long on the toilet than expected.
What did he say? I think he just said his lavatory break took longer than expected. Oh my gosh.
07.
4607, Tom 8180. Oh, it was.
Oh my gosh. Are we talking about number 2
Expect ILS Zulu, runway 9
on the radio?
Expect ILS Zulu, runway 9 right approach, Endeavor 1031.
Cook 72, leaving my airspace. Boston Center's closed, radar service terminated, frequency change approval, see up.
Yes, routine. Unicon, thank you very much. Have a great day, Cook 72.
1080-81 heavy, radar contact 10 miles southeast of Cameron at 13,000. Expect ILS runway 31 right approach to Kennedy altimeter 3008.
Expect ILS 3 on right approach, altimeter 3008, Tom 8180.
Time 8180 heavy, turn right, heading 060, descend and maintain 4,000.
Turn right heading 00.
Alright, we'll set the park and brake.
8180.
He's probably gonna need us to let him know that we're ready here. That's quite alright. Stiff crosswind from the left, it looks like. You look at the windsock. Stiff crosswind from the left.
Direct Robbinsville VOR, Romeo Bravo Victor, climb and maintain, flight level 220.
Right up to 220 and clear direct Robbinsville.
Endeavor 1031, turn right, heading 360, descend and maintain 2,000.
Right, heading 360, descend and maintain 2000, Endeavor 1031.
York, very good day, Delta 4KV, inbound Calverton, descending crew, flight level 150.
Washington Center, American 60, checking in flight level 20, Joe.
Delta 4, heavy New York Center, radar contact 10 miles east of the Calverton VOR at 14,500. Expect vectors ILS, runway 31 right approach to Kennedy altimeter 3008.
Expecting vectors for the ILS 31 right, 3008 altimeter, Delta 4 Gable.
Attention all aircraft on frequency, New York Center will be closing within about 10 minutes.
New York Center, American 1375, type A321, in front of stand 22 Alpha at LaGuardia. We have information Foxtrot on board, requesting IFR clearance to Dallas Fort Worth.
That was very verbose.
Wing 3318, wind 35, you're at 7, runway 4, clear for takeoff.
Runway 4 clear for takeoff, Spirit Wings 3318. Alrighty, we have our clearance to take off. Here we go.
For sequence over Bridgeport.
We'll expect that delay for sequence, American 33.
Sorry about that, Max Racing. 2-minute delay, and that's okay. Here we go. Gives me just a little bit more time to get on the ground in Providence. Nope. Get back up. To catch your landing as well.
Delta 2443 heavy, runway 3 and left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 3 and left, Delta 2443.
Delta 1068, runway 3 and left, line up and wait.
JFK is, there's a lot of people flying out of there, it seems like. Stiff left crosswind. It's going to make steering down the...
Flight level 200.
Delta 2152, turn left heading 080, runway...
1.05 on the April, let's go. Thrust set.
080 left heading 080. Sorry, Delta 1068,
80. Checked. V1. Rotate.
31, 5 miles from Kiwi, cleared ILS Zulu.
Positive rate. Gear up.
Clear ILS Zulu, runway 90 right approach.
We'll get the autopilot on. We're going to wait for 500 feet.
1031, wind 326, turn 7, runway 90 right. Clear.
There it is. Heading.
Land up into the runway.
108180, turn right, heading 060, and it's going to maintain 2000.
Heading 060 and 2000, crossing 180.
Delta 4 Heavy, it's going to maintain 900,000, entity altimeter 3008.
28,000, 3008, level 7.
Clear wings 3318, ready to contact the altitude.
Clear wings 3318, 2,200, climbing 5,000 feet on the LaGuardia 7. Flaps 1.
Clear wings 3318, clear direct Bridgeport, climb and maintain 15,000.
Bridgeport 15,000, Spirit Wings 3318. Alrighty, 15,000 we can go direct to Bridgeport at this time. Still gusty up here, that looks good.
Heavy wind 01011, runway 31 left, clear for takeoff.
We'll go to the back for the flat retract.
Delta 2443, ready to contact the altitude.
Flaps up after takeoff checklist.
Delta 2443 Heavy, climb and maintain 7,000.
Yeah, Max Racing says you did a single engine taxi out. Yeah, so that's one of those things you got to consider a lot of times when
American 3340,
when,
wind 3507, runway 4, clear for takeoff.
4 cleared for takeoff. American 3340.
I'll let you do your takeoff there. But I was gonna say that's one of those things that you got to consider when making your taxi out plan. How long of a taxi do I have? If it's going to be a short taxi, you'll just start 2 engines up because you got to get that warm-up time. Let's see. Let's go ahead and disarm that. Sounds back down to a more normal volume. After takeoff checklist, landing gear is up, no lights. The flaps are up. We have diff P. After takeoff checklist is complete.
Sorry, fly heading 300. Can you repeat the rest because TCAS is going crazy in my cockpit.
Version 127 Charlie Heavy, flight heading 300, descend and maintain 900,000.
Fly heading 300 and descend and maintain 9,000, Virgin 127 Charlie.
Bye-bye, New York City. I will see you here this evening for some United Ops into Newark. Should be fun. My first time flying into Newark on stream, so should be good fun flying in there. The scenery looks top tier. Like I said, I was able to select what I wanted and did not want, and so that actually helps save you some frames.
Delta 1068 Heavy, ready to contact the altitude.
We're at 3,000, Jordan for Delta 1068.
Delta 1068 Heavy, climb and maintain 7,000.
7,000 for Delta 1068.
Delta 2443 Heavy, turn left heading 090, climb and maintain 17,000.
This flight, I think, is going to be a little bit, it's more of a direct flight, right? So it's going to be a little bit shorter, or a lot bit shorter than the flight down. So this one truly is a short flight.
American 3340, ready to contact the altitude.
American 3340, 2,000 on the LaGuardia 7.
American 3340, clear direct Bridgeport, climb and maintain 15,000.
Bridgeport 15,000 for American 3340.
There we go. We're going to accelerate here. What I'll probably do is yeah, no, that's not the one I wanted.
47, you can expect that.
Well, we'll do a 260 knot climb, and then once we get a little higher, I'll do 340 knots. Once we level off and cruise there, let's go ahead and get our lights off, let them know we're out of sterile, and just as soon as we're out of sterile, we're going to be right back into sterile, so that is quite alright. And so I got some good vertical guidance here.
Version 127, Charlie Heavy, turn right, heading 180.
After gone,
maintain 5,000.
I'm just going to put in Kenty, K-E-N-T, A-E-N-T-E.
1068 Heavy, turn left, heading 090, climb and maintain 17,000.
Oop.
Left 090, 17,000, Delta 1068.
Did that work? What's going on?
M8180 Heavy, 5 miles from Maldi, turn left.
K-E-N-T-E. Maybe it's on the disconnect that I had to do. There we go. That should give us some positive vertical guidance as well, so we can know when we should actually be begin our descent. So we're 14 for 15, and once we level off here at 15,000 feet, I'll accelerate on up to 345 knots, and we can do an arrival briefing.
Taxi to wrong, taxi to parking at discretion, cross runway 1031.
Delta 2443, cleared direct D's, climb and maintain flight level 190.
Direct D's in flight level 190.
Excellent. We're leveling off here in cruise. We got our cruise speed selected. We can go ahead and do an arrival briefing here. There is no star, and it's going to be a visual approach. So any threats? Well, here I could actually put in all this information real quick. So flight plan has been reviewed. Rad nav, we have IPVD 109.3, 109.3, 046, 047, 3 degree glide slope. Progress KPVD, runway 05. I need to clear that. That would clear automatically in the done phase. So as soon as you land and the FMS switches to the done phase, that would clear out. I don't know why that is a hangover, but it is what it is. We'll go over to our approach phase here. It just seems like we're going to be in a lose-lose situation no matter what, huh?
Delta 1327, runway through and left, taxi.
300 at 11, gusting 18. Wow.
Runway 4 left.
At 11. Well, this is going to be no fun. This is going to be super spicy. 37 degrees.
4 left. Delta 1327.
And the altimeter is 3000. Yeah, 3000.
Delta 4 heavy, turn right, heading.
I'll pre-select that here, so I have the current altimeter set. The minimum is going to be 253. I may, because of the winds, elect to do a flaps 3 landing, which adds even less drag and more float, but that's okay.
Delta 1068, heavy, clear direct gale.
And for the gusts, I'm probably going to add, let's see, it's a 7 knot gust, so let's add 3 knots. How about that? So 142 onto our rough speed there. Excellent.
Hotel 4 Echo, cross Clipper at 2000, 12,000. The Baltimore
so let's plan, yeah, so the biggest threat is going to be gusty winds, slight tailwind, and
heavy 7 miles from Maldi,
that's going to be the big threat there, short flight. So yeah, we can mitigate the short flight threat by just slowing the aircraft back whenever we want to, and we've added some speed onto our RF for the gust factor. Excellent. Let's see. Let's go ahead and run a landing performance since it's showing a slight tailwind there. Very good. Apply the METAR. It's not the right METAR though. 300 at 11. At 11. 135 for.
Closing here in just a few moments. Monitor Unicom 1218. Have a good day.
Man, no. Low auto brakes. Idle. So we need 8,422 feet of runway with a 15% margin. We have 8,700 feet of runway. So.
Leaving Myers space. Bradley approaches closed. Correction, Providence approaches closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved. We'll see.
Frequency change to approve. Thanks for the ATC. Spirit Wings 3318. Have a great day.
American 3340 leaving Myers.
Alrighty, so there we go. We got that in there. CTAF. I got an auto ATC already. Boston, descend and maintain 11,000. So there we go. Auto ATC wants us down to 11,000. So that is what we'll do. I'll go ahead and manage up our speed. And we shall begin a slight descent down to 11,000 at this time as I slow it up. I don't want to slow it up too much though. Let's go ahead and take that speed back. We'll slow it up to like 300 knots. That's reasonable. That's very reasonable. So yeah, our briefing, visual approach backed up with the ILS to runway 5. We'll use full flaps. Or sorry, flaps 3, auto brakes low. Plan a soft go around if we need to go missed. Tower set heading in altitude. Since there's no ATC online, we'll just do the published mist here. We'll climb to 800, climbing left turn to 218,500 on a 270 heading in outbound on the Providence 321 radial to Frosty, not Frosty, and hold. So that's what we can plan on doing. And when we do land, plan a left-hand turn off on probably Bravo or November. And we could take November straight into the ramp parking gate. Where did I start off this morning? 9? 9. So there we go. We'll continue into gate 9. Any questions? Nope. Excellent. Well, whenever you're ready, let's do a descent checklist. Alrighty, altimeters is going to be 3000 in the local area now. Auto brake is low. Perf approach page is set. Arrival briefing is reviewed. No star. We'll do the visual backed up with the ILS to runway 5, and our status is checked. The descent checklist is complete. And since I am still thinking about it, why don't we go ahead and tell our flight attendants to prepare for landing. Flight attendants, prepare for landing. Alrighty, here we go. That is all done. We can let them know once we cross 10,000 feet that we're back in sterile. I'll bring that down to about a 40 nautical mile ring. We want to be at 2,100 over Kenty. I'm going to make that a hard altitude, actually. Let's go ahead and do 2,100. That way I have positive guidance. Excellent. And then what I can do is we can go 2,100. Right there. Didn't even touch the wing light the whole time. Yeah, it stayed on the whole time. And it's almost like as soon as you ring them out of sterile, it's like, well, okay, right back into sterile. Right back in you go. So as you can see, short flights like this can get very busy very quickly. It's nice because ATC's not messing with you. They're not turning you off. They're not giving you random altitudes. So like when in the real world, when you're doing super short flights, ATC is climbing you, they're descending you, they're turning you, they're telling you what to expect, they're pointing out traffic to you the entire flight, and through all of that chaos, you still have to get a briefing done, get your checklist done. You got your climb, cruise, descent checklist that you have to get through, and so I mean, depending on what airlines you fly for, some airlines have cruise checklists, right? So you got to get through all of those checklists just to just to get ahead of the aircraft. Let's go ahead and slow it up to 250 knots before we reach our 10,000 feet here. There we go. Beautiful. Let's see if I can do this one with no speed brakes at all, shall we? We're going to be slightly high on profile. What is the altitude over Cutsy? Cutsy is at 2,000. So, Kenty at 2,100 will be perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. We should be right on profile. I am loving all of this. Providence area traffic. Spirit wind 3318 is over. Wow, I have no clue what the name of this waypoint is. Providence traffic. Spirit winds 3318 is over Groden. We will be going from Groden direct to Kenty on the ILS 05 Providence area traffic. I didn't give an altitude there, but that's quite all right. We can go ahead and let our flight attendants know we are back in stereo. All of our lights are back on, and let's go ahead and get replay number 2 up and going. Record second landing. Excellent. What was Providence 2070? So that's what I want in here. Let's go 120.70. There we go. Ooh, this is not liking that at all, is it? Just trending very high. I do not know if we're going to make that, so let's go ahead and get those speed brakes out. No shame in that game, especially in a 321. Speed brakes are pretty much mandatory in a 321. No way you're going to get away from not using the speed brakes. IFR, I follow roads. I guarantee you this road takes you right into Providence. See this road here? Guarantee you that takes you right into Providence. There's the airport out there. So yeah. Still not understanding the passenger simulation, why it's so hot in the back yet cold in the front. There's something clearly is wrong with that bleed air system on this aircraft, because there's no way temperature should be that. I have not moved them from the full cold position this entire time, so there should be absolutely no reason for any of that. And just a little bit, I'll switch over to the Unicom and let them know we're on a 20-mile final for runway 5. We'll arm their approach up as well. We have Circle D coming up here. That should activate the approach phase for us. The temperature keeps going up in the back. I have no clue why, but there we go. PAX just might not be able to keep up. It's so hot outside. What are you doing, airplane? There's no reason for you to just be doing this. No reason at all. You stop that. In fact, I'm going to take control of you now. No reason for that, airplane. Absolutely ridiculous. We'll slow it up to 210 knots. Switch it over to CTAF there. There we go. Providence traffic. Spirit Wings 3318 is about a 17-mile final, runway 5. Providence area traffic. Low capture. We'll go ahead and begin slowing down. Well, this is absolutely no fun. Getting bumped all types of around. As beautiful and clear as a day. That's probably why it's so clear. It's so windy. Nothing can build up. Oh, man. I'm going to go ahead and just manage up the speed and let everything come in quite naturally. Oh, my worst type of landing. A stiff crosswind and a sharklet aircraft. I absolutely hate that. Absolutely hate it. That's okay. Bring the range down to a 10 nautical mile range. There we go. Aircraft should keep us at green dot. When it reaches about the dot level, I'm going to go ahead and go flaps 1 and drop the gear. Providence traffic. Spirit Wings 3318 is a about 8-mile final, runway 5. Providence area traffic. Alrighty, let's go. Flaps 1, gear down. That's American 3340, right? I heard 3318. 3340. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Alrighty, flaps 2, speed verified. Excellent. Beautiful. Alrighty. Flaps, you gonna do it? Are we gonna slow down just enough? Yep, flaps 3, speed verified. Before landing checklist altimeters, we have 3000 and 1200. Engine mode is norm. In fact, let's go ahead and, it's a little gusty, put it in ignition. Actually, we're in IAs, ignition is automatic. Landing gear is down and 3 green ECAM memo, landing no blue before landing checklist is complete. We got our 1000 auto call out. We are stable. Sim volume is up. I will see you on the ground, hopefully. Providence traffic. Spirit Wings 3318, short final, runway 5. Providence traffic. Alrighty. I do have the pappies in sight. I'm going to let the airplane fly just a little longer here. We're stable target sync 7. We're actually plus about 5 or 10 right now. I'm okay with the aircraft keeping the speed up just a little bit there. Autopilot's off.
100 above. Minimum 100.
Still carrying some extra speed.
40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Sheesh, the crosswind component there. Alrighty. We're at 80, manual braking. 60. Oh, sheesh. Wow, the crosswind component there. You got a pretty stiff crosswind coming from the left there for American 3340. No problem. I'll wait and try to get your landing here. Alrighty, so just like I said, we'll go November here, flaps up, just like we briefed. Oh, sheesh, what a crazy crosswind. I don't think I've ever had to use as much crosswind correction in the sim as I just did. Let's go ahead and get the APU going. I'll leave the lights on because we do need to cross a runway here. I did not wait my 3 seconds. Shame on me. Excellent. We are clear on the left and clear on the right. Providence traffic, Spirit Wind 3318 is crossing runway 3 for Providence traffic. Alrighty, so there we go. We'll go ahead and cross. Once we're on the other side, we can go ahead and get all of our lights turned off. Let's get GSX going. Gate 9 is what I said we will be. So there we go. Nope. And we'll use Swiss Sport. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I forgot to turn the TCAS off. There we go. Alrighty. So, what I can do is we'll slow down to a stop here. We can set our parking brake. I will end our replay, so I don't have like an infinite replay here. There we go. Let's get our drone camera out, shall we? Bring up the speed on the drone camera. See if we can find 3340 out here. He's going to be somewhere out here. Yeah, we'll put it like that. All right. We're just waiting, that's all. Let's see. Move it up a little bit here. That's gonna move that drone camera. Yeah, let's get the brake fans going. What's our temperature? Only 300 degrees. That's not bad. I think gate 9 is a little further up. Not too worried. It's just here, so I'm not too worried about blocking the taxiway. Let me know when you're on short final. Alright, so I think this is where we started out. Yep. I see the people there waiting to marshal us in.
Providence traffic, American 3340, short final, runway 5.
Alrighty. We hop back into our drone. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, there he is. There's Max Racing. Beautiful landing. Right in the touchdown zone there.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, the winds aren't out. They're not playing around today. That was a really stiff crosswind. That was a no lie, insanely stiff.
Thanks for kind words. Almost had a heart attack. Almost retarded thrust too late. But I got it down.
Yeah, it's I don't know if you're in a sharklet. It's not showing a sharklet for me, but yeah, if you're in a sharklet, it definitely is gonna float it out on you there. But you got it right in the touchdown zone, and the winds aren't they aren't playing around today.
Yeah, that was a completely stiff crosswind all the way. Providence traffic, American 3340, will taxi back to terminal.
Oh, I forgot to turn all my lights off there.
Mike Charlie.
Just got back, nice landing. Yeah, that was the landing you just saw there was Max Racing coming in to land. Alrighty, there we go. We'll go ahead and get our fast seatbelt sign turned off at this time. We can go down, and we have the APU available to us, so we can shut down engine 1 and engine 2 and engine 1. We can go back up to the overhead here, get our fuel pumps turned off, beacon light off. Our APU is on. They're going to begin deboarding the aircraft here in a second. Let's go ahead and do our last OSO check here. Oil, hydraulic status, and oxygen are all checked. Let's do a shutdown checklist, shall we? Parking brake is on and checked. Engine masters are off. Engine mode is norm. Speed brake disarmed. Radar is off. Windshield PWS is off. Our fuel pumps are all off. Let me get that mode 3 there. And our slides Or disarmed. APU is on. The shutdown checklist is complete. We'll go ahead and get the APU bleed air going so we can keep those passengers nice and cool. I forgot to leave the flaps at 1. That's quite alright. Didn't get the spur C cam there. If you do get the spur C cam, just bring the flaps out to 1. That's really that easy. Let's go ahead and go outside. I think that's Max Racing coming in right beside us there. I need to zoom out some. My drone is still not at the correct zoom level. As well as, let me bring the speed back down to a more reasonable speed. There we go. There we go. Our little purple guys moving the bags back and forth. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's rolling backwards. He's rolling backwards. There we go. Are you doing it literally based on my screen? I don't know if you have the third-party scenery, but that's a good job if I don't say so myself. See if we can get just the tails, just the tail shot here. Of course, with the purple guys in it. Again, I don't know what's up with the FSLTL traffic. It's just randomly. Sometimes the airplane have gear. Sometimes the airplane don't have gear. I do not know what the reasoning is behind that. Absolutely interesting to me. I still think my zoom is not correct. Maybe one more zoom out? I have no clue. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Providence for a second time. What a spicy approach. And I really want to see this crosswind landing into Providence because I had the wing dipped. I had the rudder kicked. Oh, man, I had all of the things. Let's go ahead and get some turn music going while we sit here and wait. I'll bring the sim volume down just a little bit more as well. There we go. Go ahead and get rid of fly live. There we go. That was certainly fun. That was certainly a fun play. Thanks for tagging along there, Max.
Yeah, man.
I could barely hear you. Say that one more time.
Hope you see the stream later this evening.
Right on, right on. Yeah, we'll be going down to Newark this evening, so love to have you tag along. Appreciate it. There we go. Max Racing tagging along with us, and the American Airlines A320 as American 3340. Thank you very much for following along this afternoon. Can't wait to do another turn and burn this evening down to Newark, New Jersey. Other side of Manhattan. Like I said in the last stream, I hate that, the turn and burns are like two quote-unquote New York flights back to back. Even though there's different airports, it's still like the New York City area. And but those were like the most plausible real-world flights that you could do. I don't even know if, anyone is doing a LaGuardia to Providence flight. If they are, it's probably on an RJ, but it's still a plausible route, better than the other alternative I was thinking was going up to Portland, Maine. But the scenery doesn't want to play nice up there. I get a Portland scenery, but it's not compatible with 2024, so just have to go with what I got. Alrighty, it appears that our purple guys are all done deplaning. Let's see if our passengers are done deplaning. It seems like they are, but no promises there. Yeah, I think the passengers are done deplaning as well. So once our stewardess disappears into the next dimension, we'll get the aircraft in a ready to go state and head back down to LaGuardia here. So we'll go ahead and close up our doors. Those should all be good. Excellent. And we'll activate the ready to go state. Activate that. Beautiful. And what we'll do is we will log off of VATSIM so we're not interrupting anyone else's flight. Thank you very much for your service, VATSIM. Once the gray boxes are gone from the engine, the N2 start boxes there, we'll bring up our first landing, which is into LaGuardia on the RNAV to runway 31. Your voice revealed stream. Yes, very nice voice, by the way. I could definitely tell you're comfortable on the. I could tell you're a real pilot because you weren't hesitant on the radio when talking to ATC. So, yeah, very confident voice. At least on the VATSIM network, and it shows that you are a real world pilot. Because a lot of people are nervous. They don't know what to say. They just are kind of making it like the one person that was like on the ground in LaGuardia at gate Bravo 37, looking for an IFR clearance to, yeah, bro, you're saying way too much. Keep it short. They don't need to know all the information. Just you're on the ground looking for a clearance to XYZ. When you say you're looking for a clearance, here's some. I mean, it's not a real pet peeve, but I do get a good laugh out of it. It's like someone saying "with you" whenever they check in. Is when they say IFR clearance, bro, you're picking up a clearance, which means by default it's IFR. You don't get a VFR clearance. You just get VFR flight following. So IFR clearances, a clearance is always a clearance. So when you call up, you don't have to say you're looking for IFR. They're going to look for your flight plan. If it's IFR, it's there. If it's not, they're going to ask, are you VFR? And then you're going to say, yeah. And they're going to say, where are you going? And hey, I'm going to Providence. Oh, okay. You're cleared to Providence via, or you're cleared, through their class Bravo, through the whatever it is. They're going to give you a VFR flight following via own navigation. you know, depart the airport, VFR to the north, climb and maintain, yada yada yada. So that's going to be a VFR clearance versus a IFR clearance. Is they're going to try to find your strip first, so it's always going to be an IFR clearance. Thanks, you got the late night podcaster voice. I actually get a compliment one time from one of the flight attendants. I'm sitting over here yapping my mouth now. Let's load up replay number 1. Should we load up replay 1 or 2? Because if I load up replay number 2 last, or if I load replay 1, here's what we'll do. So that way we can get the full arrival into LaGuardia. What I'll do is we'll do the second replay first, and then I'll try to get that turn from base to final into LaGuardia.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Let's go. There's no sync rate. All right, there we go. So yeah, I think that's how I'm gonna do it. Is we will do the Providence landings first, and then we'll end on LaGuardia. And I'm gonna try to end it on the wing view, so you get that beautiful wing view of us turning over Flushing Bay there, rolling out onto final, and that will be how we end the stream for today. I swear, from this wing, it doesn't even look like I had crosswind correction in. Let's go back. I want to see how it looked from the outside, because it definitely felt like unnatural how much crosswind correction we had in there. So there's the wing dip. And the rudder should be coming to bring us back on the center line there. Okay, from that side, you can definitely see the wing dipped. You can definitely see the wing dipped there. Let's see how that looked from the outside, shall we? I want the head-on look. So there's the aircraft weather vaning into the wind. I dip the wing. I'm bringing the rudder in. Don't know why we're drifting into the wind like that, but we are. I think that's a weird crosswind dynamic in flight sim. So there we go. That is about as textbook of a crosswind landing, minus the not being on centerline part, because you wouldn't. I mean, I guess I should have kicked the rudder over harder right there. The other thing that happens is you get into a weird oscillation. There's one wing, and I just decided to put the other one down. Yeah, super weird. I guess I should have kicked that rudder a little harder right there. But it's kind of weird that we're drifting still into the wind. Even though I kicked the rudder over, we're drifting towards the edge of the runway from where the wind are. So you see how we started off on one side of the center line, and we're crabbed. So there's no reason for us to keep drifting. If we're crabbed into the wind, you're just crabbed into the wind. You shouldn't be drifting into the wind while you're crabbing into the wind. I don't know. Is Flight Sim 2024 physics doing us more harm than good? I'm not too sure. Let's go outside and get the drone view of this real quick. Doop, doop. There we go. This should be there. At least the gear spawns in on the replay. There you go. You can see that wing dipped down there. Dipped, as long as you got upwind leg first. That was my big thing. I was really, I just didn't want to float it, right? Because it's a sharklet. I knew how much the sharklets float. So I didn't want to float it too much, and I wanted to get that the upwind leg down. Now, what was taught to me a long time ago was, and when we go to LaGuardia, I'll do my cams in reverse, so we'll start with the over the numbers and work our way backwards to the wing view. Oh nope. Okay, I messed it up somehow. Oh well, I got what I got now. What another Airbus captain taught me when I was a first officer is wait until you can't stand it anymore before you take the crab out, because the Airbus does not like being in a crab above 50 feet. Wow. Okay. This runway is very curvy. Or very hilly, I should say. Lots of ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. Alrighty, so I'll bring our drone back here. There we go. I need to speed the camera up. I got it going too slow. There we go. There we go. Excellent. We'll go back inside here. And let's go ahead and load up replay number 1, which is in LaGuardia. So we got that going on. Yeah. So like I said, we'll work backwards. Whoop. We'll let the aircraft freak out. Let the sim load in as well. That's another big part of this. Letting the sim load in. Beautiful, beautiful. Excellent. Yeah. Airplane's gonna freak out for a second, but that's quite alright. There we go. The pitch of the aircraft literally changed while I was right here. Okay, so there we go. Let me do this first. Wait, what's going on? Well, that's weird. Yeah. There we go. No? Somehow this is not making sense. Well, I think I may have broke the drone cam. I think I may have broken drone cam. Yeah, let me do... There we go. There we go. Okay. That's... We'll rewind that. I broke my drum cam and I have no clue how I did it, but I did it. So let me get it back in a semi-normal position. All right, we're gonna go old school. All right, there we go. Alrighty. There we go. We'll just manually manipulate the controls for this. There we go. I floated it out, but got it down right within the last stripe there. Beautiful landing. Right on center line in the touchdown zone. Exactly what I would expect out of a Shuttle A320. A little bit of a float, still in the touchdown zone. We'll go back inside. Let's get the over the nose shot, shall we? I want to do the over the nose shot next, simply because I want the wing view to be like the last thing, right? So we'll do that, and I'll turn down the volume just a little bit more, so it's not overbearing there. Beautiful day out in New York City. It's a windy day up in Providence, so hopefully the winds calm down for our stream this evening. I really was expecting it for... I didn't think I was going to balloon back up. I ballooned back up just a little bit there. I really was expecting to hit the ground a little firm, to be honest. Let's see. Let's go back over here. Let's watch it from here. And then our final replay will be from the other side. Hopefully we can get a good view of Manhattan as we make our full approach into New York's LaGuardia here on the RNAV, which used to be the expressway visual. Way back in the day, they used to have the expressway visual. They got rid of that in favor of an RNAV approach, because almost all airplanes are capable of shooting RNAV approaches. So they have I think they have an RNAV visual and the RNAV approach. So absolutely fantastic. There was that little bubble. I hit just a little bubble there, right towards the end. Oh, come on now. There we go. We'll do this. That's a lot of maneuvering around here and there, but that is quite all right. We are going to be left with some quite beautiful views of downtown Manhattan, and hopefully later this evening we can get just as some beautiful views of the on the other side, just on the other side of Manhattan here. So I will leave this off to be where it is. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who showed up to support the stream this afternoon. I really do appreciate that. Dummy Thick, Max Racing, Ed E. Thank you. And I promise I didn't forget you there yesterday, Jonathan. Thank you for the subscription. I really do appreciate that. We will be picking up again this evening, doing another turn and burn. This time we're going to be going down from Providence to Newark, New Jersey. So until I see you all at the next live stream, My name's Grey Eagle. Just remember to take care of yourselves and each other. Peace.